This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. Topping the news tonight, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas Northern Service celebrating a major milestone. It's been on the drawing board for almost a decade, and today 104.5 FM which was broadcasting simultaneously with 810 AM, was relaunched as a standalone station.
As a result of this event and historic relaunch, the next Kevin Mr. K. Bethel will emerge to delight present and future generations. The new jam is definitely here.
Gotta love it!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new Power 104.5 FM Northern Service.
And with that, the new Power 104.5 FM was on the air. A cross-sector of the Grand Bahama community gathered to witness this momentous occasion on the grounds of the Harold de Gregory Complex Monday morning. For General Manager of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, Diana Swan, the relaunch of 104.5 FM is a defining moment.
This moment is one of the proudest as a broadcaster. For me, it is a dream come true. It has been a long journey from 2006 till now. 2006 is when I was in charge of the Northern Service, and we were able to purchase the transmitter for 104.5 FM.
The Minister of National Security with responsibility for broadcasting, Dr. Bernard Nottage, says the relaunch marks the dawn of a new age in the annals of the Northern Service.
This relaunch today did not come by happenstance. It is the result of strategic planning and decision-making on the part of the corporation's management team. It is the result of a decisive, proactive approach being taken to provide broadcasting services so as to allow the corporation to capitalize on any surge in the economy of Freeport and the Northern Bahamas. The new emphasis for the Northern Service will therefore be on programming activities and enhancing the corporation's revenue base.
Minister Nottage also notes that radio broadcasting has come a long way since the Northern Service was started in 1973.
It is clear that in this new and dynamic 21st century broadcasting environment, it cannot be business as usual for ZNS in New Providence, nor here at the Northern Service. This ceremony today is, therefore, testament that the government is seeking to put in place the environment for the Northern Service to succeed in the liberalized broadcasting and communications environment that exists today.
Executive Chairman Dr. William Thompson says he remains focused on taking the corporation to the next level.
As chair, I am on a mission to make ZNS better. My goal is to once again make ZNS radio and television the undisputed broadcast leader in the Bahamas. This means that we shall make every effort to ensure that our staff's considerable skills and creativities are utilized to the fullest.
Power 104.5 FM will cater more to the younger generation. 810 AM was also rebranded and will be phased into a full gospel station. The High Commissioner to Canada and former Executive Chairman of ZNS, His Excellency Dr. Kelsey Johnson, was also at today's relaunch of 104.5 FM. Dr. Johnson is credited for establishing the Northern Service more than 4 decades ago.
We ordered our equipment once we found the building. The equipment arrived. Mr. Smith and Mr. Smith, Ambrose and Reg, and myself, we installed that equipment. We went out on West Atlantic Drive. We got an old trailer from the Port Authority. We put a 1,000-watt transmitter that came in from the States in that old trailer. We ran the wires from that transmitter to a 75-foot light pole on which we put what we call a Yagi antenna. And that's how we got the signal to the people in the north.
The Grand Bahama Shipyard recognized this past weekend by New York's Society of Marine Port Engineers for its outstanding work in ship care. During the awards dinner, it was noted that while most honorees come from the New York area, the Grand Bahama Shipyard made a big impression and could not be overlooked. Shashina Rowe was there.
The Grand Bahama Shipyard Company, honored by the prestigious Society of Marine Port Engineers here in New York. Executives and employees of the company say this is a proud moment, a moment that cements them as a world leader in the maritime sector. It was an evening of elegance, prestige, and honor, as many gathered to recognize the irrefutable reputation of the Grand Bahama Shipyard Company. The night began with a cocktail reception at the Marriott in Manhattan, New York, followed by fine dining and dancing. Receiving the plaque on behalf of the shipyard was the acting president, Reuben Bird. He told those in attendance about the early growing pains of the company and how hard work and commitment led them to becoming one of the most recognizable names in the shipping industry.
We are undeniably the largest cruise ship repair facility in the world. That's undeniable. Can't. All right. We dock more cruise vessels there than anyone else in the world. And since 2009 have taken more of a turnkey role by continuing to expand our offerings to our customers and teaming up with industry leaders in fields that we don't normally offer.
He noted that adherence to schedule, a quality product, and a remarkable safety record has also assisted the shipyard in becoming a world-class facility.
I'm proud to stand before you and be able to tell you that we have an outstanding safety record in this industry. And our safety mod is currently 0.21. We are a yard where safety comes first, and our motto is we want to send our employees home just like they came to work, but tired and dirty.
President of the Society of Marine Port Engineers, as well as other members, say the Grand Bahama Shipyard Company is well deserving of this distinguished award.
The Grand Bahama Shipyard has been an up-and-coming entity in the cruise ship industry, and they have always supported the society, and we thought it was a worthy honor to bring them in and honor them in return for all the support they've given us.
I've known Reuben for a long time and worked with him before he came to the shipyard.
They deserve it. They do very good work. I mean, they've got a really good reputation, and it's good to every once in a while get a chance to let your hair down a little bit and relax, and that's what we're hoping they'll do this evening.
Senior Vice President of Marketing and Project Development for the Grand Bahama Shipyard Company, Robert Graham-Cowser, is proud that the shipyard's reputation speaks for itself.
Our industry is very relationship-based. You do one bad job, it's such a small, tight-knit community, the word reverberates around the industry. We have been fortunate to be producing good work, on time, good quality, right pricing, and we've had nothing but good press, and this again is being sensed in this event this evening.
Reporting from Manhattan, New York, I'm Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Shashina. Also on hand for the special occasion was Bahamas Ambassador to the United Nations and Organization of American States, Elliston Ramming, as well as Consul General Forrester Carroll.
The whole matter of shipping runs toe-to-toe with tourism. Of course, commerce. That's how we get things to the Bahamas and through the Bahamas. And so when the invitation was extended, I readily accepted.
What I believe is a great honor for Freeport and for the shipyard.
Employees of the Grand Bahama Shipyard also traveled for the special event. They say every Bahamian should be proud of this international recognition.
And to be honored on a giant scale like this, where the world is now recognized that a small country like the Bahamas can produce such quality work and be honored for it for that work. So it is an honor and a privilege to be in New York.
And so when you look at where the shipyard has evolved to come to this point, where we're being recognized by an international company, it does make me proud. You know, first as a Bahamian, and then even as an employee of the shipyard.
The countdown is on to the 42nd anniversary of independence. This weekend, residents of East and West Grand Bahama launched events in commemoration of this milestone. Italia Hall takes a look at the festivities in the West.
It was a morning of praise and worship. The independence celebrations began on Saturday morning with a march throughout the 8 Mile Rock community, followed by a prayer breakfast. Scores of persons showed up to take part in the event, and from the streets, residents then went to St. David's Church, where there was a church service. Minister for Grand Bahama, Dr. Michael Darville, addressed those in attendance, reminding them that God is able.
I've come to realize that He is able to do things that you never thought He could do, to take you from where you were to a higher place. And I have come to the realization that through His grace, Grand Bahama will rise.
Darville encouraged the group that all Bahamians are instruments to carry out the mandate of God, and we must stick together as one to help raise the youth.
As we celebrate our children and our future, it is important that we all unite on a unified platform and try to move away from the forces that divide us. But I have also come to realize that that uniform platform is Jesus Christ. Amen. So it's essential that as we begin to celebrate and reflect on what is happening in our country and to celebrate independence, it is important that we understand that it is through unity through Christ Jesus that we are able to address many of the social ills that exist in our communities.
The event concluded with the Bahamian flag hoisted. An ecumenical service of Thanksgiving is planned for next Sunday, July 5th at 3 p.m. at the Church of the Good Shepherd in Pinders Point. Other events in the East include a flag-raising ceremony in Sweetens Key on July 4th at 12 noon and an ecumenical church service at Emmanuel Baptist Church in High Rock on Sunday, July 5th at 3 p.m. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Stay with us. The Northern Edition will continue in a moment.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Police in Abaco are searching for 22-year-old Jovan O'Kel Nixon, also known as Dragon, who resides at several addresses: Rica Street, Murphytown, Abaco, Deadman's Reef, Grand Bahama, and Lily of the Valley Corner in New Providence. He's wanted by the Abaco Division for housebreaking and stealing. He's described as standing at 6 feet tall, weighing 160 pounds, with dark brown complexion and slim build, and should be approached with caution. If you see Jovan Nixon, you are asked to contact the Central Detective Unit in Abaco at telephone numbers 367-3437, 367-2560, or contact the Central Detective Unit in Grand Bahama at telephone numbers 350-3107-12, or call Crime Stoppers at telephone numbers 352-1919, or the police emergency numbers at 911 or 919, or call your nearest police station. In other news, young people getting an opportunity for 4 weeks of free technical training. Fred Delancey has launched a youth development foundation which aims to create an environment where young people can grow in responsibility and productivity.
Apart from the technical and vocational training we're going to afford them, they're also going to become available to them in the areas of sports and culture and leadership opportunities, also community work as well. And as I said before, the main objective is for them to become more responsible and more productive members of our society. And becoming responsible, they become better leaders, basically, and also too will play the leading roles in building communities. And our whole responsibility here as the foundation is to produce effective leaders for this country, basically.
The program caters to young people ages 14 through 20 years and is taking place at the Total Educational Center in Hawksville. Training will focus on intro to industrial technology, safety, measurement, and workplace communication, among other things.
The second and third week, they will get involved in specialized skills training. And the areas we have this summer, we've been welding, carpentry, electrical, diesel mechanic, hotel and catering basically, and cosmetology for that matter. And once they finish with that, the final week will be dedicated mostly to exhibitions, where they will exhibit all the work they did during the summer.
It's time now for Ask the Doctor.
This is Ask the Doctor. Welcome. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. First, I would like to thank JC from Freeport for his question he asked on strokes. Today, I will conclude my discussion on this topic with a focus on stroke warning signs, which may appear as early as 1 week. A stroke usually presents as a TIA, also called a mini stroke, where symptoms may initially appear as a stroke, but usually lasts a few minutes, then disappear without causing permanent brain injury. If you're in the presence of someone who may be having a stroke, or if you think you may be having a stroke, the easiest way to remember signs of a sudden stroke is the word fast, where F is for facial drooping. Check to see if one side of the face is drooping, feels numb, or if the smile is uneven. A is for arm weakness. Check to see if one arm is weak, numb, or if there's difficulty raising the arm. S is for speech difficulty. Check to see if the speech is slurred, if there's an inability to speak, or difficulty understanding what the person is saying. And T is for time, which means if one or all of these signs are present, it's time to call 919 or go to the nearest emergency room immediately. Life after someone has a stroke can be devastating, and it can impact loved ones and caregivers. Many physical, emotional, and behavioral challenges can result from having a stroke and can include paralysis, speech deficits, seizures, anxiety, anger, and depression. Early rehabilitation with physical and occupational therapy is therefore critical for the recovery of a stroke survivor and their return to independence. If you have questions concerning your health, please email askthedrbahamas@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. Sports is up next with Ricardo Liborn.
Everybody, and welcome to Sports and Ricardo Live. This one tonight goes out to a very special lady. That is Mrs. Paula Nemore, who is celebrating her big day today. Way to go, Ms. Nemore. And also got to say to Marsha Ferguson down there in Nassau, we're sending your baby girl down to you tonight. She's in transit. She'll be home a little later. Well, Kenny Anderson Legends of Basketball Grand Bahama Jam was held on the weekend at the YMCA gym. And for more on that, let's go to Megan Shepard.
All-Star Kenny Anderson giving back to young people on Grand Bahama for a 3-day camp at the YMCA. Both boys and girls ages 11 to 19 learning the fundamentals of basketball from a man who excelled in the sport. Anderson says while basketball is a great sport, his real passion is sharing life experiences and lessons with the students.
Just try to, put some ABC stuff, as I call it, basketball one-on-one, dribbling, passing, shooting, making it fun. Then, after lunch, we'll let them play. After lunch, play against each other. And basically, I'll sit them down. Then I'll go over certain things, life lessons. I'll speak about some of the things that went on in my life and some of the things they can ask questions. So I like that part of it.
3 students who are on their school's basketball team says they are excited for the next few days. Working with Anderson, they say, is a great opportunity, and they are looking forward to developing in a number of areas.
The camp is fun. What inspired me was to come to the camp is I like basketball. I like to do a lot of sports. And I just thought I would go today and try out.
I just wanted to practice as much as I could. And that's what inspired me to come.
The camp so far is good. We did a lot of drills. I think going to help improve our game. It's pretty good so far.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Total Sports.
Well, folks, the Bahamas Sports Revolution Summer Camp started today. It's going to run through July 24th. Where? It's at Bishop Michael Allen School. These are the camp directors, and Cherish Hollingsworth says it's a total sports camp with lots of activities.
The camp will begin on June the 29th, and it's going to continue on until the 24th. It's 4 weeks long. Last year we did have a 2-week camp and then a 3rd week by extension. And this year we wanted to give the parents a longer program, something where the kids can kind of expand on the experience they would have already had and build on a little bit more memories with the Bahamas Sports Revolution.
Now the camp will in turn encompass all the sports, and Mark Wilson is on board as an instructor.
I was so excited because I just love the idea, one, of succession, but two, the point that she made, sowing into our kids at an early age so that they understand that these God-given gifts and talents that they have can actually take them to the next level of their lives. So I'm going to be on board as primarily the basketball coach / instructor, but all of us are going to be assisting with all of the various disciplines.
I was introduced last year, and I like the idea of introducing sports to young kids as a means of building yourself up in life. And so this year I just decided that I'd volunteer again.
Sports is really important to me. It became a big part of my life, and I want to inspire the younger kids to have the same passion that I do for sports and to keep this revolution going in our country. And it means a lot for me. Sports isn't just about building skill, but it helps with character. You learn how to be part of a team.
And again, those kids are going to have a lot of fun. Well, the Grand Bahama Regatta Committee receiving donations from Bahamian Brewery to help to enhance the long-running cultural event here on Grand Bahama. Let me tell you that Shavita Campbell, who is actually the chair, says that the island has really gone through a rebirth, and the brewery has committed, and she says July 17th and 18th is going to be the place to be here in Grand Bahama.
Grand Bahama Regatta is something that used to be vibrant, and so therefore we are on the trend of bringing it back. Yes, we understand that there is a decline in the economy. However, these things are cultural to us, so they are near and dear to us, and so therefore we make every effort for us to host an event. So we need Grand Bahama to come out and fully support us. Just participate by being on the beach, supporting the vendors, supporting the floating dock. If you're not familiar with sailing, you can actually be out in the water whilst they sail.
Assistant General Manager of the Bahamian Brewery, that is Clayton Russell, says the companies look forward to supporting events just like this in the community. Regatta is important as residents can understand and appreciate the history of regatta, or like they say in Long Island, regatta.
And on July the 16th, we are doing a man in the boat parade throughout Grand Bahama, and we would like for everyone to participate with us. Then on July the 18th at the Tino Beach, we are doing a man in the boat sculling competition. I'm asking the scullers from Freeport, from West End to Sweetens Key to come out and scull with us, because we are doing a first place prize would be 10 cases of signs, a trophy, and all expense paid to Nassau to do the man in the boat championship. Then the second place prize would be 8 cases of signs and a trophy. Third place would be 6 cases of signs and a trophy.
And I really enjoy that, man, sculling contest. That's going to be a great one. There's also going to be an addition. It's going to be a swimming contest as well. This between me and the girls here in ZNS, who could swim to the nearest buoy without spilling all the water will win. That's sports tonight.